What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western New York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today, once again, comes from the Genesee Brewing Company, and they are out of Rochester, New York, and this is their Citrus Pils, the 2024 release. So on the can, they are calling this one a malt beverage with natural flavors, and at the top of the can it says natural tangerine and lime flavors. It comes in at 4.5% alcohol by volume, 8 IBUs at the time of review, and this can is approximately 2.5 months old. So full disclosure, I've already had this one before about a month ago at the Genesee Brew House in Rochester. I went there with my dad. We got some dinner and I got a flight of beers. This was one of the beers that I got and I really enjoyed it. My dad, however, enjoyed it a bit more than I did and ended up buying an entire 12-pack of it, and he threw a can my way for reviewing purposes. So thank you, Pops. So yeah, really excited to give this one a go on a fresh palate with, not eating food, not a part of a flight. Now, I think they released this one for the first time back in late 2023. I think this is the second year they released it, and I did not try it, the 2023 release that is. So the first time I had it was in a flight. This is the first time like officially having it, an entire can to myself, or whatever you want to call it. Now on their website, they do call it a Pilsner. It's in the name Pils, and they are brewing it with natural tangerine and lime flavor. So anyway, let's crack it open, get it in the glass, see what we got going on with this one. So the only thing I'll say about this one specifically is that I feel this is a very weird late fall, early winter release. This screams spring, summertime to me. Like, when I was drinking it, that's all I was thinking. I was like, this would be great when it's like 80, 85, 90 degrees out in the middle of summer. So that's the only thing with this one. But anyway, let's give it a pour here into the glass. Beautiful looking beer, crystal clear as you expect from a Pilsner of some sort. So we'll throw this over here like that. And yeah, so how does this look? Beautiful. Let's try to get you guys a better look here. Yeah, that looks absolutely fantastic in my opinion. I'll even go a little bit further so you can see my ugly mug through it. But yeah, crystal clear, has that beautiful golden kind of straw color. About a finger and a half, almost 2 fingers of this soap sudsy, bright white looking head. Decent carbonation, but not crazy. You can see the carbonation bubbles. Let's see if I bring in my light here, if that does anything for you guys. Probably not. Like that. You can see it's lighter gold when you look through it, but the carbonation bubbles are pretty nice. So yeah, I mean, that plays the role. Crystal clear, kind of what you expect. Hold up to light. Looks, honestly, the best thing about my new camera is that I can look off camera at the tablet, and I'm telling you right now, it looks exactly how it does on camera. So that's pretty awesome. Anyway, let's get a nose. So the first thing I noticed when I was drinking it at the brew house, and in comparison to how it is right now in this glass, is that it has the natural flavors you'll get in like a seltzer, or maybe even like a soda pop, like your Sprite, 7-Ups of the world, maybe your Sunkist or Orange Crush. Kind of those flavors, but in a 4.5% Pilsner. So the base has this crackery, bready, kind of grainy malt character in the nose, but then tons of citrus, and it's mostly, to me, lemon lime. I'm getting big lemon lime vibes. In addition to that, there's a little bit of that tangerine and orange. It's kind of mixing together, and it's just a citrus explosion. The name Citrus Pils, perfectly, it's very apt, we'll say, for what I am smelling right now. There might be a touch of like a grassiness from the hop character, whatever hops are using this one, but I'm not going to sit here and BS you. This smells more of that like a natural candied kind of citrus character. It does smell like it's going to be a bit sweet. What I remember it on tap though is it wasn't overly sweet. The problem with something like this is if it is too sweet, too candied, you don't want to drink a bunch of them because it's kind of overwhelming, starts to become cloying. I don't remember that having an issue with the 5 ounces or whatever I had on tap, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So let's get into it. Cheers, everybody, or should I say Prost? I don't know if it's actually German Pils is the base, but whatever. Cheers. I could see some people not enjoying this for one reason only. If you're somebody who's very sensitive to citrus flavors like this coming off as like floor cleaner, like a lot of people say lemon pledge with lemon in beer, or one thing I've always noticed is when I sometimes get like an orange or tangerine character in a beer, sometimes it comes off as like Murphy's oil soap. Yeah, that's kind of what I could see people saying about this. For me, Not really. It just has, again, that seltzer or like soda pop based citrus character. It's a little bit more candied and not authentic, but it works really well in here because this is an extremely dry beer. Anyway, body and mouthfeel. And this one, 4.5%, it's like higher side of light. It's a little bit watery, a little bit thin, but you kind of expect that sub 5%. You want it to be easy drinking. It's not super watery, just a little bit. The mouthfeel, it's incredibly effervescent. It's like higher side of moderate carbonation to like a low full carbonation. Even though it doesn't look like it, on the palate it definitely is. So it's crisp, it's extremely clean too. After you take that sip, kind of after 3 to 5 seconds, just nothing on the palate is left. But yeah, crisp, clean, super refreshing. The taste, the nose carried over. The aroma was screaming again, that crackery, bready kind of grainy malt character. That's exactly what I'm getting front to back. Omnipresent underlying characteristic, never the predominant note, but always hanging around. And then about a third of the way through the palate, I get more of a lemon lime. And again, it's a Sprite, it's 7-Up, it's a lemon lime seltzer. So it's very refreshing, but a little bit candied in essence. And then midway through the palate, the tangerine comes in. And if I was doing this blind, I'd say more orange than tangerine. I'm getting, again, more of like a slightly candied orange. And then on the finish, has a very faint hint of a grassiness, maybe a little bit of like an herbal characteristic. And then it finishes bone dry, very mild bitterness, almost no bitterness, like just a skosh of bitterness. For the most part, this is a very dry beer. No alcohol, it's 4.5%. Pretty sweet up front with the, again, the candied character that you expect from a beer like this, but it dries out immensely on the back end to really balance it out. This is just an absolute summer crusher. I'm glad I'm drinking this one in the middle of February. No shots, I'm just saying. This is a beer that when it's like, you know, spring is starting to really ramp up and you're starting to get into early summer, you could have this by the barbecue, poolside, beach, whatever. You could crush a ton of these. Again, if you're not somebody who is very sensitive to that, again, I want to say more of like a cleaner. We'll just say a generic cleaner, whether that's dish soap or like a floor cleaner. You know, some people, like I said, they'll say lemon pledge. It's not to that level for me, but I could see how somebody would say that or pick up on that. So yeah, I mean, this is really nice. Is it going to blow anybody's mind? I don't think so, but that's not what this beer is for. It's for crushing when you want something very refreshing, a Pilsner of some sort, and I'm here for it. So Genesee's Citrus Pils, the 2024 release. This is a Genesee specialty, which is basically what they call their seasonals. I am going to give this I'm not going to go, I forget what I gave it on tap, but I'm going to give this a low 4 out of 5. I'll go 3.9 out of 5. Yeah, I think it's a pretty damn good beer as a whole. Again, might be a little bit too much of that, you know, I want to say soap something instead of what I'm trying to say is like cleaner kind of essence, dish soap, whatever you want to say. But I think it's pretty damn good as a whole. Price point availability, this is where Genesee shines. What's funny though is at the actual brew house, which is right by the breweries, right? If you've never been to the Genesee Brew House in Rochester, check it out. They have some pretty good food. They have a lot of specialty beers you can't get elsewhere. Downstairs, they have a huge merchandise area, and then on top of that, they have like the brew house, I guess you would call it, where they have like, I think a flight of 4 beers, like $5 or $6. Might have went up. I haven't gotten one there specifically. I got it when I was eating. They do tours and stuff. Haven't done one of those, but it's a beautiful, building as a whole, but it's really nice to just be able to try some different Genesee stuff. But it's a little bit more expensive. I want to say this is almost, it was like $12.49 or maybe $13 for the 12-pack, where at like Wegmans this is like $11.49 or $11.99. Kind of weird, it's a little bit cheaper at Wegmans, but that's the going rate. Might be cheaper or more expensive wherever you live. Now, as far as where this gets distro, I really have no idea. Go to Genesee's website. Pretty sure they have a beer finder, but some of these specialty releases don't make it out of New York State, and if they do, only to select states. I don't know how far outside of New York this one got. It's all over the place here in the Western New York area, more specifically Buffalo, New York, Wegmans, you know, Tops, all kinds of different bottle shops. You can pretty much pick this up wherever you want. And when the season starts ending, they did this for the, what was it, the Keller beer, the Black Cherry Vanilla Keller beer. Like you could buy 12 packs for like $6.99 because they wanted to get rid of all the stock. So you're talking like 50 cents a can almost. That's insane. So if you want to wait on this one for another month or two, you probably can, and you could probably clean them out at a very low cost. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Like I said, 4.5%, very easy drinking. The only issue I truly have with this beer is that I just want to drink it in warmer weather, and it's weird that they released this one in late fall into early winter. Like, I just want to be drinking this, poolside or by a beach or, at a barbecue or something, not in the middle of winter when it's like 15 degrees outside. But I guess that's more of a me issue. I'm not a seasonal drinker, but I think a beer like this, more people would buy, I think, in the spring and summer. But it is what it is. So again, if you've had this one before, please post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another Western New York Wednesday. Don't know what I'm reviewing next Wednesday, but it will be from the Western New York area. And until then, cheers. Prost. Cheers.